Good. Our second class. Well, friends, remember the homework, which was to prepare for speaking. So today we are supposed to speak about the pictures we have in our books, page number 104. So good morning to everybody. Let's go to page 104. I'm going to show you the page in case you don't remember. Page 104, this one here that you can see on the screen. This one here, this is the page. Can you see the page on the screen, kids, or not? Everybody, can you see the page 104 on the screen? Is silence a meaning no or yes? Oh, good. Celia, hi. Maria del Prado, yes. And Alba, yes. Correct. Very good. Jose, good morning, friend. Alex.
Good morning.
Good morning. Iker, are you fine?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, welcome, friend. Well, I think that now everybody is nervous. Everybody's nervous because they think, oh my God, I have to speak today. But friends, what is language for? Language is precisely for these things. It's more important than examination, more important than tests, more important than a certificate, which is really important. I know, imagine if not. But more important than all that, we are not studying geography or we are not studying history. We are studying a language. And a language is to be spoken and written, you know? If I study English for 20 years and I can't speak English, my God, I think I have wasted my time. So speaking is one of the most delicious moments of our lessons. Jose, yes or no? Jose Luis?
Absolutely.
Thank you, friend. Thank you for backing me. Yes, speaking. I am a student. And the teacher wants me to speak about, for example, the pictures on task number 1, page 104. Imagine that situation. I'm a student, and I know the teacher wants me to compare and contrast the two pictures I see in task number 1. I mean, the pictures on the left. The teacher wants me to speak about the things I see, the contrast, the similarities. The teacher wants me to speculate a little bit. Maybe I don't speculate and nothing happens, but I don't get good marks. That's the difference. And if I make some mistakes, maybe I don't pass. So my idea is I need to speculate. My God, what is the meaning of speculation? Speculation is when I am not 100% sure about something. And to be honest, I see the pictures and I am not sure about anything because I don't know these people. I don't know exactly where these people are. So I have to speculate. If I don't speculate, nothing happens, kids. Nothing happens. But the problem is that I maybe make mistakes and don't pass. But if I speculate, I have possibilities, because possibilities not of passing, possibilities of passing with good marks. That is the difference. So I need to speculate, and then immediately I remember the last lesson. Must, can, for something that I see clearly, may, might, could, for something that is possible or not. These are ways of speculating. I can use the formula seem, look. Remember that? They seem to be happy. She seems to be worried. They look to be happy. She looks to be worried about something. This is another way of speculation. In secondary school, we study other words, other expressions we use to speculate. For example, perhaps, maybe. You can use these elements if you don't remember the others. But the little big difference is that they don't give you any extra mark for when you use perhaps or maybe, because Cambridge considers that this is something you know from secondary school, right? But if you don't have any other option because in that moment of the exam, you don't remember anything, you know, these lapses of nerves that we suffer when we are stressed, which is possible. In that case, use perhaps and maybe, but be aware, sean conscientes, be aware that they are not going to give you any extra mark for perhaps or maybe. That is. And then, apart from speculation, if I see possibilities of expressing contrast, they give me extra mark for expressing contrast. While in picture number 1, I see this or that, in picture number 2, something contrary. Huh? So while, whereas, unlike, these are elements to express that I see differences and they give me extra mark. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes I see something that is similar in both pictures. In that case, I can use it using both picture show and they give me extra mark. That is the secret of passing this part of the exam with excellent marks. And finally, time, which is a problem for not for only for you, for everybody. Time is a problem because I have to do all that, and then I have to answer the question that you have at the top of the pictures in 1 minute. So don't be very nervous if you can't do it very well today, because the idea is to speak today, to speak, that you dare, que ustedes se atrevan, that you dare to speak. Because if you are very timid, if you are very shy, and you don't speak today, what are you going to do the day of the exam? If you know me, if you know that I'm not going to be very inflexible, that we are friends, so be relaxed and speak. The idea was that you selected the sets of pictures, the 2 pictures on the left or the 2 pictures on the right, the ones you prefer. And then, all these things said, who wants to begin the examination? Is there any?
Can I start?
Ah, beautiful. But I don't recognize your voice. Who are you?
Celia.
Ah, Celia. Hello, friend. Hello. Celia, perfect, friend. I'm going to control principally the time, right? This is not
Okay.
a good moment to be rectifying your little mistakes of grammar and things like that. I think it's not a good moment because I am not with you in the classroom to comfort
Okay.
you, etc. But time, let's concentrate on timing. Right, Celia? Well, let's see. 1. I'm sorry. Which are your pictures?
Me
Task
da
1 or
igual.
task 2?
The second.
The second. The man on the plane, etc. Yes?
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Okay.
let's begin. 1, 2, 3.
In the first picture, the man look as if he's scared because he's on a plane and probably he had an stomachache. And in the second one, I can see 2 girls that they seems like they are scared because they are seeing a terror film, and they probably are uncomfortable with that. And in both pictures, the three persons are very, very scared and frightened.
Okay. Okay, good, good. Okay, well, I want you to know that it is admirable because you were able to speculate correctly. The man look as if the girls look, seems, etc. Perfect. You found,
Okay.
you speculated, you found differences and similarities correctly. The problem was the question, yes or no?
Mhm.
To answer the question. So you have to be aware, Celia, that next time you have to speak less or to speak faster. I don't know. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. But I like the way that you use seem. Be careful with something, Celia, because you told me that the man look as if, and you tell me that the girl seems. See the difference?
Yes, yes.
Yes. The man, only one, he with S. The
Yeah,
man
looks
looks.
as if,
Aha. But the
and the
rest was.
girls seem.
Yes, but the
Yeah,
rest was perfect. What you need is more time. See, Celia, you need
yeah.
more time to finish the task.
I
So
have to practice more.
yes, yes, that's the idea. You have to practice more, but I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, friend, right? Because you spoke and you were the first. For me, that
Yeah.
is wonderful that you did it, Celia. Thank you. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
Thank you, friend. Well, is there any other volunteer to continue with exams?
Okay, me, I am Prado. Good luck,
Prado.
try. Yes.
Hello, friend. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Okay,
Prado, which are your pictures, friend?
tax one.
Task number one, that
One.
is the girl who seems to be passing the driving license test. No, this one.
Yes. Yes.
Correct, correct. I want you, Prado, to take into consideration what happened with Celia. You have to
Yes.
speak less. Imagine that. You have to speak less. That is wonderful. Well, one,
Okay.
2, 3.
Well, the first photo shows a girl inside a car and a man standing next to the car. They are shaking hands and smiling. He seems to have a notebook. I think he might be driver examiner and she might have passed the driving test because she appeared very happy and he is congratulating her. Whereas the second photo shows two children. It looks as if they are riding on a fair attraction. I think they could be having nice family day at the amusement park. The girls seem to be having fun because she's laughing, but the boy don't seem to be having fun because she appeared a bit scared. Uh,
My God, 1 minute. 1 minute is nothing, Prado. You see? 1 minute is nothing. Nothing. Maybe, friends, this is for Celia and from Prado. Friends, maybe now you realize that you have to speak less. What a surprise. Yes or no? Because
yes.
sometimes we think, oh my God, a minute is too much. A minute is too much. A minute is not. Imagine that in the real exam, you don't pass because you didn't answer the question, how are the people feeling about what they have just done? Imagine that. So you have to abbreviate. Huh? You have to abbreviate. In a picture like picture number one, I wouldn't give so many details because I don't have time. Not because the idea is not bad. No, no, no. The idea is perfect. In a real conversation. In a real conversation, what Celia did and what you did is perfect. But this is an examination, my God. 1 minute is nothing. You know something, Prado and Celia? In other classes, I am worried because people don't speak. In this class is the contrary. I am not worried because you speak. And now what I have to do as a teacher is to hold the horses. That is to try to control that you don't speak too much. What a privilege. Thank you, Prado.
Thanks.
Thank you, Celia, my friends, for the effort of doing it. And maybe, only maybe, I can have other volunteers now.
Me, for example.
Excellent. Who are you?
Laura. Laura Díaz.
Laura, how are you, friend? Are you fine?
Yes, thank you. And you?
Well, better than last week. You can imagine how painful last week was for me. But well, let's forget about that.
Okay.
Laura, you have 1 minute, my friend. 1 minute. And you see the example of Celia, the example of Prado, that they gave too much information and you have to reduce the information, right?
Okay, I try it.
Okay.
I choose task 2.
Task 2, the plane and the living room and the girls watching a scary movie. Yes, very good. 1, 2, 3.
Both photographs show frightened people in two different situations. In the first photo, there is a man sitting on a plane who looks very frightened, while in the second photo, two young girls are scared to watch the TV in a living room. I think the boy has a phobia of flying or of heights due to his frightened face. He is holding into the seat. However, in the next photo, the girls could be frightened maybe because they are watching a scary movie alone at home and it seems like it is night, a typical situation of fear.
And now answer the question.
I think they are scared because they are too close together with their face a little covered not to watch the movie.
Okay. Okay, well, friend. I want you to know that you passed. Huh? You passed. There are little mistakes, but you passed. Which is fantastic, Laura. Congratulations, friend.
Thank you.
Good, very good, very good. Well, is there any other volunteer for the exam?
Me, for example.
Good. Who are you?
Alex.
Hi, Alex. Are you prepared for this serious problem, friend?
Maybe.
Alex, don't speak too much. Don't speak too much, right?
Right.
Which are your pictures?
Task 1.
Task 1. Okay, I'm ready. You are ready. Listen. 1, 2, 3.
The first photo shows a girl that must have passed her driving license exam and the examiner is congratulating her. The second photo shows two kids that must have finished their ride in a theme park. The girl in the first photo seems quite happy because she might have passed the exam at their first attempt. And in the second photo, the girl seems that she had enjoyed, while the boy seems frightened or perhaps a little dizzy. The two photos shows quite happy people, but in the second photo, the boy doesn't show happy.
Continue. Say something.
And there are two different. These are
Okay,
two different
let's
situations.
stop. Okay, let's stop. Well, Alex, this is the contrary. It was very good, but too short. See that, Alex? Alex, what a problem, the time. Yes or no?
Yeah.
What a problem, the time. Controlling the time, the timing. We say in English, we say the timing. El control del tiempo. The timing is something difficult here. You see the extremes? If I speak too few, I finish before the time. If I speak too much, I don't finish in time. My God, it's a tragedy. So anyway, you were able to compare and contrast and answer the question, right? But it was too short. So in the case of Alex, we have to speak a little bit more. Do you understand, Alex? Alex,
Yeah.
Okay, good, very good. Is there any other volunteer? Okay. Yes?
Oh, hi, Jerry. Me, Jose Luis.
Jose.
How are you?
Better, much better, Jose. Much
Okay.
better than last week. Yes, yes. Luckily, you know, luckily.
I am glad to hear you.
Thank you, friend.
Well,
How's your family, Jose? Are you all okay?
it's amazing. The kids always show teaching the way of life. Well, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yes. Very good. Jose, do you
Okay.
want to participate in the speaking?
Sorry?
Do you want to do your speaking exam?
Yes, really.
Good. And which are your pictures?
I choose the task 2.
Task 2. Very
Yes.
good. Very good. Well,
Well,
let's begin. 1, 2, 3.
okay. In the first photo, shows a man traveling by plane. Look as if he's very nervous. Could be because it's his first time in a plane trip, or perhaps he's fear of flying. I don't know. In the second photo, 2 young girls appear to be in front of TV set watching a program. One of them covered herself the eyes, look as if she didn't want to see anything, whereas the other girl seems to be surprising and funny, apparently because of what they are seeing. They could be watching a scary movie or terror film. In both photos, one show different kinds of fear. In the first, the man can stop his anxiety until the flight is over. I think that due to the high probabilities of falling down and die rather than other transportation.
Okay,
So,
very good. The problem
thank
maybe
you.
is the details. You know,
I,
you
yeah,
have given me a lot of interesting details. I think, Jose, that maybe
yes,
these exams, this part of the exam is limiting the
yeah,
possibilities of my students to speak, because observe that the majority of the students are speaking too much, not
yes.
too few, not too little. So
Mm.
it's a pity because you have good ideas. I heard ideas in the exposition of the students which are very interesting in reality. But the problem is that we can't give so many details during the
Yes, yeah.
exam. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand totally. In Spanish, seems the same thing. Speak too much.
No, 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 not only you. Observe what happened with Celia, with Prado. You see,
Yeah.
we have the tendency to give a lot. I'm sorry, to give a lot of.
Sorry, your time is over.
Yes, I didn't pass the exam. I didn't pass the exam. Thank you,
Okay.
friends. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
the effort, my friends. But
Thank you.
we
Thank
have
you.
to, we have to change. You know,
Okay.
one
Okay.
thing that teachers have to be very careful with
Okay.
is not to be boring. If the teacher continues with one activity more than 15 or 20 minutes, the activity can become maybe a little bit boring. And I don't want that. So let's change now. Relax, everybody. Congratulations to the people who made the effort, because you know what? I am very satisfied with your expositions. You speak English. You speak English. For me, as a teacher, English teacher, the important thing is that you speak. But normally, but logically, I have to prepare you for one exam. And the exam wants you to say everything in 1 minute. So we have to train and train and practice and train in order to do it in 1 minute. But in speaking, I am very satisfied with all of you. Thank you, friends. Now, let's go to the workbook, page number 37. Let's change the topic. I repeat, workbook, page 37. Let me show you page 37 in the workbook. This one. This one. Is this one? This one? No, it's not this one. Page 37, page 37, 37. This one. I want you to observe on page 37 of your workbook Exercise number 2, this exercise number 2, which this is dealing with, connected with vocabulary of unit number 9, right? And it says, exercise 2, which verbs in the table collocate with the nouns in the box? Put the nouns in the correct column. Some can go in more than one column, and the nouns in the box are progress, fun, patience.
Sorry, Jerry.
Yes.
That exercise is done.
We did it.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Sorry for this. So it is done. Very good, friends. In that case, let's...
Sorry.
What?
I think we didn't check the page 36, exercise 1 and 2.
We didn't check it.
I think this.
Exercises 1 and 2.
Yes.
Okay, let's check it today. Give me just 1 minute to find the exercise. Aha, here it is. So, have you all done this exercise, friends? I refer to page 36 in the workbook. Yes, Alba did it. Very good. The problem is to check it. Jose did it. Celia did. Okay, let's check it. Let's check it. Well, give me a second. Page 36. Aha, good. This one here. Rewrite this exercise. Yes. Rewrite the sentences in italic using a modal verb. Might, may, could, possibility, must or can't. This is certainty. They are different, remember. Number 1, Ryan is behaving very strangely. I'm sure he's in love. And now you have to use, well, this is the example, sorry. He must be in love. The level of certainty is high. Must be. But number 2, Deborah is looking a bit tired. Perhaps she's working too hard. And you have to use she. So I'm going to give you the answers to make it short, friends. I'm going to give you the right answer. If you have something different, tell me, because maybe it is correct. Well, listen. According to Cambridge, in number 2, the answer is, or should be, she could, she might, or she may be working too hard. That is the correct answer for number 2. She could, or she might, or she may be working too hard. I mean, Cambridge considers that in this case, you can use the 3 modal verbs that express possibility. Now, number 3. According to Cambridge, there are 2 possibilities. He might not, he may not, he can't earn very much. He might not, he may not, he can't earn very much. The 3 possibilities of, the 3 modals of possibilities in negative. If you have something different and you are confused, ask me. And couldn't know. Couldn't is impossible, because remember that couldn't, we use it for the when we express certainty. So yes, we use could and couldn't for certainty, when you are more sure, more sure. Must, affirmative, could, couldn't, in the case of a negative. Could or couldn't, yes. Now, number 4. It is a high level of certainty and affirmative, so the only chance is that must, and it is in present, be, that must be very hard. Check it out. That must be very hard. In number 5, according to Cambridge, the possibility is certainty negative. That can't be Claire's grandfather. That can't be Claire's grandfather. In number 6, it is certainty, it is affirmative, so must, and it is in past, present perfect. He must have sold his business for a lot of money. He must have sold his business for a lot of money. Check it out. Number 7. It is certainty negative, can't. But it is in past, present perfect. So the answer is, they can't have had another argument. They can't have had another argument. 8. Possibility. Possibility, remember, may, might, could, and now it is in past, present perfect. So the answer is, we may, or we might, or we could, and now present perfect, have met before. We may have met before, we might have met before, or we could have met before. In number 9, okay, it is again a high level of certainty. It is certainty, but negative, can't. This certainty is in past, so present perfect. She can have had a happy childhood. She can't have had a happy childhood. And now, in number 10, this is only a possibility, right? So may, might, could. And this sentence, the original, is in past. So I have to use present perfect after the modal verb, after may, might, or could. So the answer is, she may, or she might, or she could, and now present perfect, have thought, sorry, it's not thought. No es enseñar, es pensado. Pensado, yes. She may have thought, she might have thought, or she could have thought, I'd be angry. These are the answers in grammar exercise page 36 workbook part 1. Any commentary, anything you want to know, or something that confuses you?
Jerry, I am Prado. I have a doubt in the fourth sentence.
Yes.
Is certain isn't possibility? Because said, I imagine.
Yes. Let me, I'm going to read number 4. She's studying full-time and she has a job in a restaurant. So I have this antecedent. I imagine, you know why, Prado? Because certainty, must and can't, and possibility, may, might, could, they are ways of expressing, what is the name? My God, what a memory. Oh my God. I don't remember the name now. that you are not sure. You are speculating. Sorry, speculation. You are speculating because you are not totally, completely, 100% sure about that. But you have some information. The information is that she's studying full time, imagine, and she has a job in a restaurant. So I imagine means that you are speculating. But now you are going to speculate based on nothing, possibility, or based on some information you have, certainty.
Okay, thanks.
That is, I understand your
Yes,
wariness.
yes.
Good, very
Thanks.
good. You're welcome, friend. Is there any other question, friends? Because if not, we can pass to exercise number 2. Exercise number 2, the answer is very short, so you can tell me your answers. For example, psychologists believe that taking risks has always been part of the human nature. For early humans, risk-taking, and you have number 1. You have 2 possibilities, must or can't. Both express certainty. For Celia is must, for Alex is must, and Maria del Prado is must. Yes, and for Jose? Laura is must. Jose. Alba must. Very good.
Must, sorry.
Jose, why are you always the last one?
I don't know. Sometimes are the first one, but when I have 2 kids surround me.
Ah, yes. So you are
Sorry.
three. So Jose, you are 3 kids at home.
Yes.
Okay, very good. But friends,
Okay.
must. Yes, must is the correct answer. Yes. So the answer, the sentence says, for early humans, Jose, thank you. For early humans, risk-taking must have been part of everyday life. Psychologists think that early human risk-takers are now may or can't. What is your option? May for Alba, May for Maria del Prado, May for Jose. Thank you, Jose Luis. Jose Luis is May, Alex is May, Celia is May, and Natalie is May. Very good. Laura is May. Excellent, friends. Yes. Celia, do you notice that I am pronouncing your name better each time? Celia, do you notice my pronunciation with your name? Yes, good, good. So the sentence says, you're welcome, friend. It's joking, it's joking. It says that psychologists think that early human risk takers may have been more likely to explore new places, possibly finding a new source of water and food. Such individuals can't or might, friends, in number 3. What's your opinion? For Maria del Prado is might, for Alex is might, for Alba is might, for Natalie is might, Celia is might, Jose Luis might. Yes, friends, you are right. Might is the answer. Such individuals might also have risked doing things differently, such as using a new kind of weapon or animal trap. These acts, and you have 2 options, must or mustn't. How easy. Must for Laura, Alba, Maria must. Jose Luis is the last one. You will see Jose Luis is the last one. Natalie must, Jose Luis is must, and Alex is must. Thank you, thank you. You are correct. Must is the answer. These acts must have given the risk taker a great sense of achievement. But number 5, can't or could also have blah, blah, blah. Can't or could, friends? Could for Maria del Prado Alba, could for Alex, could for Natalie, for Laura, could for Jose Luis. Oh my God, thank you. Yes, and for Celia also could. Friends, you are right. You are right. It's could. Conclusion, my friends. In number 1 is must. In number 2 is may. In number 3 is might. In number 4 is must. And in number 5 is good. Excellent, excellent. Is there, friends, any other homework or activity that we were not able to check and you want to check today? Because I don't know. If you don't tell me, I am sometimes confused about homeworks and nothing more, Laura. Thank you, friends. Thank you very much. So let's continue with our class. And now let's go to the big, big swamp. Do you know the meaning of swamp? Swamp is un pantano. Es un pantano, my friends. Swamp is un pantano because the problem is writing. You know what my worry is? My worry is how can I check your writings, huh? Because maybe you can send your writings to my email, correct? But then I have to print these writings because I need something in black and white to check and rectify the mistakes and write something. So maybe I can do that. And now you are going to laugh about me because the problem is that I don't have much paper to print all the writings. And where can I buy papers nowadays? Do you understand? Oh my God, it's a little tragedy. And I don't know how to rectify mistakes in a writing if I don't print the writing. I'm an old man, you know. I don't know many things about how dealing with that. I have to ask for advice to Jorge or something. Anyway, we have to continue practicing writing. So we are going to do it, and I will try to find a solution to the problem, right? Let's go in your books to page 104. 104. Let's see that page in the student's book. Where is it? Here. 100 here. It is the same page of the speaking, but at the bottom, remember bottom, top and bottom, at the bottom of the pictures, you have the writing activity. Let's go there little by little. Let's analyze what the problem is. It says here, writing, part 2, a report. They want you to write a report. Okay, no problem with that. We have to, maybe you remember, maybe. And for the organized students, these students that follow my advice of having, 25 Chinese plastic folders, and you organize the papers, people like, for example, Celia, people like, for example, Laura, Prado, people like Alex, maybe, people like Jose Luis, oh my God. You are very well organized people. So you have a folder only for writings. Maybe you have an example of a report. Anyway, don't worry because we are going to revise that again, right? Don't get nervous. We are going to analyze the characteristic of a report again. But I don't want to begin with that, right? I want to begin with the example of report that you have on page 105. Next page. This page here. On page 105, we have an example of a report. Remember that report in Spanish is informe. Un informe. A report, right? If you observe the example, immediately you remember the characteristic of a report. A report requires a title. A title. A report requires headings, encabezamientos, subtítulos. In English, headings. The head viene de cabeza, encabezamiento. Headings. You need a heading for paragraph number 1. You need a heading for paragraph number 2. you need a heading for paragraph number 3 and a heading for paragraph number 4, right? This is not a mystery. The problem is that in other writings, we don't have the necessity of writing the headings. We always know that the initial paragraph is the introduction, but we don't copy introduction. However, in report, you have to write it. You have to write it if you want to pass. We all know by memory that always the final paragraph in a writing is the conclusion and sometimes recommendations. What is the difference between conclusion and recommendations? That sometimes in the instructions that I receive, they say give recommendation, and in that case, the heading, el encabezamiento, the heading of the final paragraph is recommendation. Sometimes they don't ask me for recommendation. In that case, the final paragraph is not recommendation because I am not going to recommend anything. In that case, the heading of the last paragraph is conclusion. Okay, so again, I repeat it. Friends, the principal characteristic of a report is that I am going to report something to someone. I'm going to report something to someone. That someone is going to be important for me. So I have to read the instructions I receive carefully, because if that someone is the prime minister of the nation, I have to be very formal. If that someone that is going to read my report is a principal, is a very important person, I have to be formal. If that someone is my boss, it doesn't have to be so formal. It can be semi-formal. Remember, formal means that I cannot use contractions, I cannot use phrasal verbs, I have to use elegant words, if possible, passive voices and conditionals and things like that. If it is semi-formal, I don't have to be so careful. And these are the only two options of a report, right? Never informal. Never informal. I mean, never using a lot of contractions and a lot of, very confident expressions, etc. No. The only two possibilities when I write a report is that it can be semi-formal because the person that is going to read my report is not very important, or it could be very formal because the person who's going to read the report is a very important person. But this is not the case according to my experience, because Cambridge is going to evaluate your formal writing in the essay, part 1, and this is part 2. Part 2. So what they want here is semi-formal. I mean that if once you have to use a phrasal verb because you don't have another similar word and you don't remember the synonym, you can use it. No problem with that. Don't abuse, but you can use it. If you forget and you write a contraction and they see that you don't have many contractions in their work, nothing happens because it's semi-formal, right? The other characteristic of a report is that you need a title. I want you to observe the title that you have here in this example. You have on page 105. Observe the example. Our college money. My friends, I would never, in my examinations, when I have to write a report, I would never use this title because I know a formula that is always good. Maybe you remember, maybe you don't, logically. But the perfect title of a report is Report on. Remember that, friends. Report on our college money. Ah, you remember Albas. Perfect, perfect. So the perfect title, and this is my advice to you, because you don't want only to pass. You want to pass with high marks. So if I were you in the exam, I would write report on our college money. And now I guarantee that I have a good mark for the title. Because in the title they can give me, you know, they can give me a complete mark, or they can give me 0,5, or they can give me 0,25. I don't want 0,25 in the title. I don't want 0,5 in the title. I want the complete mark. So I fight for that. Report on, informe sobre, report on, informe sobre, beautiful, yes or no? Report on our college money. And then introduction is perfect, because always the heading of the initial paragraph is introduction. Always, always, always in the report, the first paragraph heading is introduction. Always the heading for the final paragraph is two possibilities. If they want you to recommend something, recommendation. If they don't mention to recommend anything, conclusion. Right? The problem are the two paragraphs in between, because the headings of these two paragraphs is what they are going to evaluate carefully, because you have to be intelligent enough to find an adequate heading for paragraph number 2, and they are going to check that everything you say in paragraph number 2 has a connection with the heading, and then they are going to check that you find an adequate heading for paragraph number 3, and that everything you write in paragraph number 3 is dealing with the heading of paragraph number 3. Ah, interesting. Very good. I'm speaking too much. My God. But I have to continue. Well, friends, and here you have an example. Why is the heading of this example in paragraph number 2 the classroom? Why is the classroom? Well, if you go to page 104, where we have the instructions, please, students, go to page 104, this one here. Here you have the instructions, see, in this box. In this box, you have the instructions. The instructions are, the college where you study has been given a large amount of money. Incredible. Nobody believes that. In English, we say, do you buy it? Esta es una expresión típica americana. Oye, ¿tú compras eso? Y no tiene nada que ver con comprar y ir al supermercado. Lo que quiere decir es, ¿te lo crees? Do you buy it? Do you buy it? Because I don't buy that. Yes? The college where you study has been given, se le ha dado, imagine that, a large amount of money to spend either. Either means con estas dos opciones, ya en esto o ya en lo otro. Eso es either. Either on improving the classrooms or on student social activities. Two possible options. Do you understand? Yes, good, Alba. Alba, you know you are always the first in answering. Congratulations, Maria, Alex. Thank you, friends. Use it. Podemos usarlos, úselo. Either on this or on that. Esa es la opción. Ya sea en esto o en lo otro. Either on bla, 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 or on bla, bla, bla. Esto es lo que nos dicen aquí. Esta gran suma de dinero que le dan al colegio, increíble, ¿verdad? Bueno, pero vamos a comprarlo. Dice que estoy ya un poco perdido. Yes, it says either para gastarlo ya sea en either on improving the classrooms or on students' social activities. Now the question is, do you understand why the student in the example used the heading the classroom in paragraph number 2? Do you understand why the student in the example used, of course, Laura, yes, Alba, yes, Alex, perfect. And do you understand why the student in the example on page 105 used the heading social activities in paragraph number 3? Do you understand now? Yes, excellent, excellent, perfect. That is, friends, what you have to do. Very good, Jose. That is what you have to do exactly in your exam. If they give you two things, two options, one paragraph for the first option and the second paragraph, which is paragraph number 3, let's be clear, because the first one is the introduction, and the third paragraph for the second option, and you are going to use that for the heading, right? And the instruction finish, I continue reading the instructions, right? The director of your college has asked you to write a report describing the benefits of both ideas and saying which one you think should be chosen and why. And say which one you think should be chosen and why. Well, here I don't see the word recommend, but the student decided to say his recommendation. That's why the heading in the final paragraph is recommendation, because he's going to recommend his option. Okay, that's correct. But if the student writes in the final paragraph conclusion, it is acceptable too. That is the mystery. There is no more mystery. Well, I think it's mystery enough. I go back to page 105. This page. This is a beautiful example, but if you observe, and you are very intelligent, you can see immediately that the report is not complete because there are 10 spaces in blank. Next activity, according to the book, is fill in the blanks in this report using the verbs that you have in exercise number 3. Benefit, contain, discuss, find, improve, make, participate, recommend, reduce, and spend. Right? But you have to use these verbs in the correct form. Please, please be careful in the exam, right? In the correct form. They give you the infinitive, but you have to conjugate the verb according to the context. Okay, I'm going to give you some minutes. So you work and I relax my tongue and my mouth because I speak too much. Sometimes I think you are tired of listening to me, my God. I'm sorry for this. Well, I'm going to give you some minutes, but please, please, as soon as you finish, send me a little message for me to know that I can check the answers, right? Take your time. Thank you, Laura. Take your time, friends, and do the exercise. Excellent, Celia. Congratulations, Alex, you finished. I can't believe it, Jose. I can't believe it. You are not the last one.
Jerry.
Jose. Okay, friends. So Alex finished, Laura finished, Alba finished, Natalie finished, and now Jose Luis finished. I think that Celia finished, Maria finished. Congratulations, friends. Let's check the answers. Listen to me. Imagine that in number 1, the answer is discuss. Check it out. Discuss. If you have discussed, you did it well. They are only 10. If you have 6 correct answers, you did a wonderful job. If you have more than 6, it's because you are exceptional. If you have more than 8, it's because you are incredible. Well, number 1 is discussed. Number 2 is spent. In past, with T, be careful, should be spent. No, it's not past, it's past participle. Huh? Is spent. Well, in number 3 is make, present, simple form, make, because it is the infinitive, to make. In number 4, contains. Friends, let me ask you a question. Can you hear the noise? Can you hear? Yes. Well, this is my neighbor, my lovely neighbor, that he knows exactly the right moment to begin doing some kind of redecoration of the house or something like that, but he's driving me crazy. Yes, Alva, not exactly in the neck, you know. My God, he's driving me crazy. Be patient. I'm sorry, friends. Well, let's continue. In number 4, the verb is contain, but with S, contains. Because it's each classroom, cada salón o cada aula. Cada vez que hay each es singular. Each classroom already contains. Be careful with that in the future. In number 5 is find. In present, find. In number 6 is benefit. In simple form because it has a modal verb before. After a modal verb, in this case would, after a modal verb, the verb is infinitive, you know, in simple form. So benefit. In number 7, improve, in simple form. Why simple form? Because would. No. It is would also, but you don't have a be. Si tuviésemos un be, sí, porque sería voz pasiva. Pero no hay un be, dice would also. ¿Ven? También, also es también. También también mejoraría, porque improve es mejorar. Entonces, con un would tiene que ser forma simple, improve. Que hay un also en el medio, sí, pero also no es verbo, also es también. Es donde ponemos also normalmente en inglés. Also es un sinónimo de to, pero to va al final y also va después del primer auxiliar del verbo. Y el primero es would, después viene also. Would also improve, también beneficiaría, mejoraría the quality of the student work. Well, now, in number 8, participate. It is infinitive because you have to. So, participate. Now, in number 9, reduce. It would reduce. And in number 10, recommend. Be careful, recommend, double M, M and M. Recommend. Okay, do you have a different answer or something that confuses you or something you need to be clarified? Nope? Good. I want you now to observe exercise 5. Observe exercise 5, the same page, but exercise 5. Let me show you this. Exercise 5 is this exercise here. Complete these ways of making recommendations and suggestions by putting the verb in brackets into the correct form. This exercise. What they want is to teach you, friends, different forms of recommending something. You can recommend, you can suggest. You can say that it would be a good idea. It's another way of recommending. But the problem is that sometimes after this expression, you use infinitive with to, sometimes you use ing, and sometimes you use the simple form of the verb. So there are 4 sentences. I need you to write the verb in parentheses in the correct form. Come on. When you finish, send me a message. Oh my God, my neighbor. Oh my God. I'm going to switch off the microphone. Really, Jose? My friend, you are a new man. Jose finished, Celia finished, Natalie finished. My God. Alex finished. Alba finished. Very good. Well, let me ask you, right? What is the answer in number 1? Can you tell me? For Laura is installing, for Jose is to install, for Natalie is installing, for Alba is installing, for Celia is installing. And, okay, the answer is installing. Because after recommend, you use ing. Be careful, my friends. Some people, yes, Jose, but you know something, Jose, shit happens. Well, friends, some people say instead of, yes, sometimes people instead of say I recommend, some people say I would recommend. And this changes because normally after would recommend, we use the infinitive, right? That's what happened with Jose. But if you don't use would, which is the normal thing I recommend, is ing. I recommend installing a new air conditioning system. In number 2, I suggest what? I suggest spending for Alba, spending for Maria del Prado, spending for Alex and Celia, spending, yes, spending for Jose Luis, and for Natalie. Yes, friends, spending is the correct answer. So in reality, maybe you realize, se percatan, you realize that the intention of the book is to remind you, hacerles recordar, to remind you that after I recommend ing, I suggest ing, okay? Don't forget that in your work. Well, I suggest spending money on improving the social program. And now, number 3, I suggest that, this is another possibility, you know, instead of I suggest ing, you can use that. I suggest that the college should what? Should buy for Alba, should buy for Alex, buy for Natalie. For Maria del Prado is buy, and for Jose is buy. Yes, friends. Yes. Buy for Ophelia. Yes. Correct. Excellent, friends. You know, because maybe you remember that after any modal, cualquiera, any modal verb, we always use the verb in simple form, except when we speak about past. Remember that in that case we use present perfect. Huh? But in normal condition, in present, is the modal verb, in this case should, and the verb in simple form. Now the final one, which is number 4. It would be a good idea, what? To equip for Jose and Alba and Alex, and for Natalie too, to equip for Maria del Prado. Yes, friends, you are correct. You are correct. Conclusion, because the conclusions are beautiful for teachers. When the teacher says conclusion, the teacher feels important. Let me feel important. Conclusion, my students. We can say that exercise number 5 is teaching us that after I recommend, we use the gerund. After I suggest, we use the gerund. After I suggest, sometimes we use that, not a gerund, that. And then after that, a complete sentence with subject, verb, predicate. Number 3 is the example. I suggest that the college should, after should, may, might, could, yes, can, must, after these modal verbs, simple form, in this case, by. And this exercise 5 is teaching us that when I use the expression, it would be a good idea to, infinitive with to immediately, similar to Spanish. Sería una buena idea ir, sería una buena idea comprar, sería una buena idea terminar, sería una buena idea analizar este tema. Sí, similar to Spanish. What a beautiful exercise, exercise number 5, friends. Yes or no, Alba? Alba. Yes, thank you. It's important for me. Yes, good, very good. Well, being serious now, my friends, I think you have all the necessary elements to write a report. Yes, and I know, because I know each of you perfectly well, that you can write a beautiful report. What is worrying me this time is how can I check, revise, write notes on your report? Huh? I have to find a solution. But anyway, I think that you know my email address. Do you know my email address, friends? No. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to give you my email address. I'm going to dictate it. So be attentive. Yes, Jose, with pleasure. Yes. My email address is Jerry. Remember, Jerry, yes? Jerry dot, punto, Jerry dot. And now, and everything with the small letters, todo en minúscula, right? I repeat, Jerry dot English language coach, todo seguido, todo minúscula. English language coach. Y ahora, at, eso quiere decir arroba, at gmail.com. I repeat, Jerry dot English language coach at gmail.com. The idea, friends, is that you write your beautiful report following the instructions that you have on page 105, exercise 7. Look, how many words? Well, everything you write in first certificate is between 140 and 190. 140 mínimo, 190 máximo. Always, everything you write in first certificate in English. Jerry.English language coach at Gmail. Yes, Celia, correct. You're welcome, Laura. My pleasure, friend. Well, listen to me. The instructions for your report. Thank you, Celia. Celia, sorry. Well, the instructions for your report are exercise 7, page 105. Right? I'm going to read the instructions for you. This exercise here, you see this exercise. Work in pairs, impossible. Work alone. Read this writing task. How do you think the money should be spent? And these are your instructions, friends. It's not exactly similar to the example you have on the right, on the left. No. These are your instructions. Your town, it's not your school, it's your town. Your town has a large amount of money available to spend on improving the area around your school. Your English teacher has asked you to write a report suggesting how it can be improved. Right? Well, observe that they don't give you two options. No. They don't give you two options. They give you one big option. Improving the area around your school. Around, not the classrooms, right? No the teacher's room. No, no, no. Around. It means the playground, patio de recreo, playground, the what? Maybe the gardens, maybe the streets or the sidewalks, las aceras, huh? But it is around, yes? But no more. So how can you, because you need to write 4 paragraphs. Remember, friends, you need desperately to write about 4 paragraphs, because number 1 is the introduction, number 2 is, I don't know, number 3 is, I don't know, and number 5 is conclusion. Why conclusion? Because you don't have to recommend. I don't see recommend in the instructions, so the perfect is conclusion. If you want to recommend, you can do it, friends. You can say recommendation and you recommend. And that is perfect, beautiful. Well, but now, how can I write 2 paragraphs? Well, imagine that you think that one element that should be improved, mejorado, improved around the school is maybe the playground, el patio de recreos, the playground. So paragraph number 2, the playground. And imagine that maybe you think that another problem you have in the school is, for example, the library that you have crossing the street in front of the school. Is because you have liberty, you have freedom to invent. So you say that there is an old library in front of the school and it needs a reparation, and then you can dedicate paragraph number 3 to the library. Do you understand? And then finally, the conclusion or recommendation. Excellent, friends. Excellent. But my question now is, and what is the title? What do you think is an adequate title? Report on. Report on, for example, report on how to improve the area around my school. No your school, no your, mine. Or our. I think it's better our. Report on cómo mejorar, how to improve. Report on or improving is acceptable too. Report on improving the area around our school. It could be a title or something similar that you make up, que ustedes se inventen, that you make up. Do you understand, friends? Good, good, very good. I know, my friends, that it is sometimes hard. Thank you, Alba, Maria, and Celia. I know that it is sometimes difficult to write, you know. We are not writers. We don't love writing, but we have to do it for the sake of, por el bien de, for the sake of our examinations, preparing for that. Let me tell you something again. What I have to do is to invent something to check your works. So be patient with me if it takes me some little time, right, friends? Be patient with me. So the homework for next class is write your report, make it beautiful. Be careful with your handwritings, handwritings in Spanish. ¿Qué se dice en español? La forma en que escribo. Hay una palabra, chicos. Thank you, Laura. Yes, caligrafía. Please be careful, because sometimes I don't understand what you write. Caligrafía. Yes, that is. So be careful with your way of writing. Yes, and remember to separate the paragraphs clearly. Well, in the report, that's not a problem because you have to write the heading, etc. Remember that the minimum 140, the maximum 190 words. And that's all. That's all, folks. We are going to finish here. It's been, as always, a great pleasure working with you. The examination at the beginning of the class was for me a good experience, thanks God, because everybody wanted to speak and everybody spoke. And the problem that you have is not that you don't speak. The problem you have is that you speak too much. You give a lot of details, etc. And 1 minute is not enough. Friends, I love you all. So remember that this is our last class this week. Have a break, relax, but don't forget doing the homework, right? Thank you very much. See you next week. Have a beautiful weekend. Jose, okay. And that's all. That's all. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Celia. And Chris, my God, Chris. Laura, thank you. I feel much better, Laura, you know. Thanks, Alex. You are a very sweet friend. Thank you for everything you do for me. See you next week. Bye-bye.